Hey guys, so my name is Carissa. Welcome to my channel. So The Conjuring 3. Wow, that was a bad movie. Well, in my opinion anyway, but hey look, I've seen so many people saying that they loved it. So it just goes to show taste is very subjective. I love a lot of movies that can be considered really, really bad horror movies, but hey, one man's movie trash is another man's movie treasure, right? Not saying that the movie was trash, it was a pretty okay movie, I just didn't really enjoy it personally. But one thing that it did do that I'm really happy about is it made me rewatch in preparation all the other Conjuring movies, and it made me remember how good this universe can be when done properly. Some of the movies in the Conjuring universe are truly amazing works of horror art, in my opinion. They're not groundbreaking by any means. They're full of cliches, they're full of tropes, but they're still really good when done right. So I thought I would go through and rank them all since I've watched them recently and they're all fresh in my head. But very quickly, before I do, if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing if you enjoy this video or even just giving it a like. It really helps promote my channel with the YouTube algorithm. So, going straight into the ranking at number 1, well actually sorry, number 8 because I'm working backwards from worst to best. So coming in at the very bottom spot is Annabelle Comes Home. So Annabelle Comes Home was a truly disappointing movie because it had so much potential. It could have been such an amazing horror movie. It could have been like the Avengers of the horror Conjuring universe, there's all these different stories to tell in the Warrens artifact room, and we don't really delve too deeply into that. There's like a few minutes spent going over the case files, and so much of it is about like this one girl who has issues with her father who recently died. Like it's a whole lot of emotional family drama stuff. And don't get me wrong, that is in part why the Conjuring universe works so well at times, because of those heartwarming moments, like especially between Ed and Lorraine Warren, that really gives these characters, depth. It makes them well-rounded. It makes us care about them, so you care when things start to happen to them. But at the same time, I felt like with this particular movie, we all just came to see the Warrens artifact room, all the crazy stuff that could happen in it. And I just felt like the script and the direction, it was all disappointing. The whole guy that plays the guitar that got chased by a werewolf, that was a pretty funny moment. And horror movies definitely can have those light-hearted, funny moments, but I remember seeing this in the theatre, and the audience laughing at that moment was really the only moment they actually responded to the movie, and that's definitely not the way that it should be in a good horror movie. So coming in at number 7 is The Conjuring 3. So I'm not going to go too deep into this, it is just a ranking video. If you want a proper review, feel free to check out my Conjuring 3 review. But basically, I just felt like it felt like an episode of Criminal Minds meets Supernatural. It just didn't really feel like it knew what it was as a movie. It felt like the direction and the script were all a bit messy and unclear. And just considering how amazing the first 2 Conjuring movies were, the bar was just set so incredibly high, and I understood that they were going in a new direction. They were going away from that haunted house formula into a new direction, and I was fine with that if they had done it well, and I just don't think it was done well. So coming in at number 6 is The Nun. So I felt like The Nun had so much potential. We had a genuinely scary demon. We had this beautiful location of the convent in Romania. We had some great acting from, I forget her name, but the girl who was on American Horror Story. She is a good actress, so it had so much potential. And I felt like at one stage I was watching that movie Dracula 2000 because of all the fog and the crosses and everything and the setting of Romania. But yeah, I love that stuff, and it could have been so good, but the script and the direction just really failed, which is a pity. It could have been a great addition to the Conjuring universe. So number 5, The Curse of La Llorona. So I felt like The Curse of La Llorona really should have been shot in Mexico. I feel like if this story was shot in Mexico, where the whole urban legend of La Llorona came from, it would have really elevated the movie. It would have added to the tone of the movie. But yeah, there just wasn't a lot I liked about this movie, and that was a pity because this movie, the whole curse urban legend of La Llorona, is one that was really fascinating and I felt like could have been a great movie. And I'm just going to say it, I think a lot of this has to do with Michael Chavs being the director. And look, after he made this movie, I really did give him a second chance going into The Conjuring 3. I went in with an open mind, hoping that, he was just having a bad day. Well, you know what I mean, it takes more than a day to shoot a movie, but he just had one bad movie and I was willing to give him another shot, but he just failed again. I just felt like the direction, it just wasn't good. And that's a pity. This could have been a great movie. So number 4 is Annabelle. So this movie wasn't bad per se. It just wasn't good either. I don't know. It was just blah. Like there wasn't anything inherently wrong with it. Like it had a lot of cliches, like they go and see the priest when things start to happen. But you know what? I love a good cliche if done properly. Just, yeah, I think the main thing was it just didn't scare me. I could watch this movie by myself at night time with the lights off and I wouldn't be troubled by that. And yeah, you know what? It may have a lot to do with the fact that I just feel like they could have done a lot more with the whole doll storyline, the whole fact that it was a scary doll movie, because it didn't really feel like a scary doll movie. Like, how do I describe it? Like, James Wan, he made that movie Dead Silence, which I highly recommend that you go check out if you haven't seen it. That felt like a scary doll movie done well. James Wan, he should have just directed this. But yeah, this definitely wasn't one of my favourite movies. So coming in at number 3 is Annabelle Creation. So this movie is one of the rare movies where the sequel was actually far superior to the original. This movie was tense, it was scary, it was aesthetically pleasing. I loved the visuals of the girls in the white dresses with the lanterns out, in the countryside with the well. It felt very unsettling, very creepy. I like that we saw the little girl as Annabelle when she was a human, or I should say the body that the demon overtook. I feel like the little girl that was the main actress who played the orphan did a really great job for a child actor. Not saying that child actors are bad, but well, you know what I mean. She had a hard role to play and she did it well. She was very sympathetic while at the same time not taking away from the horror. I like how it tied back to the first movie, and there was some scenes, like there was this one scene on the bunk bed where the demon is chasing one of the orphan girls, and wow, that was a genuinely terrifying scene. Like, that was probably one of my favorite scenes in the whole Conjuring franchise altogether. So coming in at number 2 is The Conjuring 2. So I really love that this was set in Britain. I feel like the British vibe really added to the tone of the movie. The setting was quite dreary. It was quite cold. It really fitted the tone of the movie well. I feel like it was a genuinely scary, creepy movie The child actors did a great job. James Wan used vintage children's toys to scare us like he always does, and he did a really good job of it like he always does. I love the whole fact that they put an emphasis on faith over fear. As a Christian, I always feel like these movies have a really good message in that way, but obviously if you don't have faith, it's no problem. You don't need to go into these movies thinking of it that way. You can just enjoy it as a horror movie. But as someone who truly does believe in all of that stuff, well, I'm not saying that I believe that there's a crooked man out there, but you know what I mean. It's pretty cool to see that they put that emphasis there on faith. I like the fact that the Warrens, they're just really there for this family. We have Ed Warren sitting down, playing Elvis with the kids, and it's a really heartwarming moment, but it doesn't linger too long on the whole, emotional side of it, like with the Conjuring 3. And that is what makes it, I think, so much more impactful. So you already know what number 1 is going to be. Coming in at number 1 is The Conjuring, the original movie, the one that started it all. And look, this movie was filled with cliches. We had the old haunted house trope, creepy kids' toys, but it was still amazing because the actors were good, the story was good, the direction was good, the tension was amazing. I loved that moment where they're playing that game, hide and clap, and the mother looks for the daughter in the closet and she hears the clap, and then she goes to look in the closet and she sees there's nobody there. It's just a really well done movie. It's something that I've rewatched several times and I still enjoy it when I rewatch it. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below what your guys' order is of the Conjuring movies. What's your favourite one?